Howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here with
Being good, Brad.
He's never good. Okay, let's just get that established right now. He's never good. He's evil, and he should be stopped. Right, Bradford? What is Bradford doing now that Bradford is not really supposed to be doing, but he's doing and doing it well? The one cane? He's walking around the house with just one cane now already. But I mean, you're doing well. I mean, I can't police you. I mean, it's your body.
Yeah. Well, and one thing though is if I'm going to carry anything, I can't use two
I know,
hands.
but you can put things in a bag.
Well, yeah. I could.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I'm leaving it up to you. It's your body, but I don't want you to do things at the risk of
Yeah.
falling.
Yeah. And if I was outside, I wouldn't use just one
Okay.
cane.
Okay. Did you start any more laundry? Okay, the dryer just shut off. Sunday, I don't know why Sundays we always are doing laundry. It seems to be the day we do laundry. Of course, I think part of that is because that's the day where if I'm gonna cook, it's gonna be on a Sunday normally. Now this week I threw them off balance because I did those 2 deep dish apple pies. I did 2 of those, and it was reduced sugar, so it was a blend sugars for any of you that love baking, but maybe you're a diabetic or borderline or have family members that are. That stuff is spot on. It's not sugar free. It is half the sugar basically, but it is really good to bake with, and it is really good to. It doesn't have a funny taste to it, or at least not to us. So I did the reduced sugar apple pie, and instead of doing a crumble topping or another pie crust on top, I just used the granola. It was easy, and it still gives that crunchy texture, but it's a lot better for you because it's got the oats. It's got honey, and this had almonds, shaved almonds in it, and so that worked out really nice. And it was super easy to do. We froze one pie, of course, because we're not going to leave both pies out. So you've been enjoying that, but it threw him off because it's like, whoa, wait, it's not Sunday. He normally cooks on a Sunday, so I'll have you know, I got my hair up in a messy bun today, and that was like an act of to do because my arms and shoulders are so bad. So I have to flip my hair over backwards, gather it all up, and then I have to literally lay on my bed because then that way I can get my hands up above my head. To do it, just do it like this, I cannot do it. So, but I was thrilled I could do it. It was like, you know, if I really need a ponytail fast, I'll ask Brad to do it. But for the messy bun and stuff, he really's not his thing, So it was an act of Congress. It is February 20th, 2022. So 2202022. I like the number thing. And it is 2:11 p.m. on this fine Sunday day. It's nice out. It's sunny out. That makes me happy. That always makes me happy. Been playing with the puppies. Hey, girlfriend, what are you doing, Jellybean? Right, Charlie? We've been playing with the puppies because that's what we do in this house. Is we play with all the dogs. I always have one of them or a couple of them right over here. Charlie being a love bug today. Of course, all 3 of them are. Right? Right, Charlie? Oh, I know. But I just been doing some loom knitting, chatting with Brad. Kind of talking about what we want to do. He's requested that I make French toast this evening. He's all about I can get her to cook. So he loves my French toast, and it's not that bad for you. It has a lot more eggs in it than pancakes or waffles would. So he said he's been having dreams about my French toast. Have you really, or are you just messing with me?
No.
You've been dreaming, and then you wake up and you're drooling, and you just wish.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Toilet is still an issue. My toilet. We're going on a week now, over a week. That it's partially unplugged, but it doesn't really flush that well. I mean, the water gets up really high and then it slowly drains. and I don't even put the toilet paper in it now. And so we're going to try to go through the sink and see if we can get it unplugged. I have used all the vinegar and baking soda I had. I have used all of the Drano I ever had. I have done the dish soap and hot water trick. So with Brad, we've done the plunger. I don't want to have to call a plumber. I'm getting ready to do some research. If I have to pull that toilet off and unplug it and then reset the toilet, I'll do it. But I don't want to do it. If we have to do that, I'm buying me a long pair of them Playtex yellow gloves. I'm not sticking my stuff down there, but I hope I don't have to, but I may have to. But I am not paying $450 to have a plumber come in, pull that toilet, pull out whatever's plugging it up, and then reset it. I mean, it's because we don't have the wax donut to reset that toilet with, which those are not that expensive.
No, they're about $15.
Yeah. So, but and I mean, we can do that. The biggest thing, I'm not afraid to do plumbing. I kind of like plumbing. Electrical freaks me out, but plumbing I can handle. I can handle. So, I may have issues tightening up stuff enough because of my arms, but I will figure it out. There's always a different way to grip, move your arms, move your body. I will get it figured out. But I am not paying almost $500 for a plumber. Because, see, next month I was wanting us to get our eyes checked because we haven't had our eyes checked in a couple of years. And we really need new glasses. Desperately, both of us. So, it's not that expensive to get the eye exam and then just order online. So, and that's what we'll do. But I really want to have us do that. I'm not that concerned about getting Jellybeans fixed right away because she is always diapered. She hasn't gone into another heat cycle. Just the one back in October, right before you went to California. Remember?
I remember.
So she had not gone into another heat cycle since then. So I'm kind of waiting to see if maybe she's done. I got to talk to the vet because I know there is a higher risk if they're still intact of them possibly getting like uterine cancer or any kind of female cancer. So, got to watch that. Hey, Jellybean, Jelly, what are you doing? So, I know she needs a haircut tomorrow. I'm cutting her hair. I'm doing the dog care tomorrow. So I'll be, I may touch up Nixie's head just a little bit. Of course, all of the nails need to be worked on, and Jellybean needs a full body haircut. Oh boy. It's getting warm enough and stuff now, though, that I can. I'm not going to cut her as short as I did last time on all over body. And then I'll do the classic teddy bear face on her and Nixie as well. We just like that look. It looks cute on them. Right, right, Nixie? Right, Nix? The big dogs have been feeling really good. You guys knew I was giving Nixie the glucosamine chondroitin. Yeah. So, because she's 10, well, she now technically, here in a few months, will be 11, and Charlie is not far behind her, so I started giving him it as well. We started. And he seemed to have a little more pep in his step. Because I noticed that he was having, like all of us as we age, having a little more trouble getting up. A little slower, and you see him walking away, and it'd be the classic older dog. I mean, he's really graying in the face and stuff. He's getting older. But I don't want them to be hurting a lot either. So this is a good supplement. I get mine through Amazon. Is the cheapest prices I've found. And then I just take a pair of scissors and just kind of crumble it up, in their food at night. We do. So, it helps, right? Working on a hat. I did clean my room yesterday. Lord Almighty, there was the biggest mess. Brad and I were talking. You guys remember we were doing a video and Brad could hardly stay awake. Well, so I did leave. I went into the bedroom, put my headphones on, because my room was such a mess. When you have that much stuff in one room, you know, most of my art supplies, quite a bit of yarn. Well, not quite a bit actually, on a grand scheme of things, but it's a large box. Um, but all my looms. Uh, I have some sewing stuff in there. I have my diamond painting stuff in there. So we have a lot of stuff in there, right? So by the end of a week, it becomes a little cluttered, and I really don't like. I like everything in its place. I'm kind of very structured, very scheduled. Battle laugh, he'll tell you every day when I come out of the bedroom, I'm dressed. I've cleaned up, I'm dressed, the dog's been changed. There's just certain things I do. Then I'm gonna come through here, and yes, I'm gonna grab a box of Kleenex, look see where the cat has had her accident, get that cleaned out. I'm gonna open up the front door because dogs love the front door, the sunshine. So do I. And then I'll come sit down. And by that time, he's has a cup of coffee. He always likes to make my morning coffee, which I'm very grateful for. And he always makes my yogurt with fruit and granola and artificial sweetener. So I have that every single morning. I'm very boring this way, you know.
Nothing wrong with boring.
I am. I'm just very, well, it's not that I can't do things spontaneous, but like the other day making the apple pie, I had the apple poured or pulled because when you're going through your crisper and some of the apples are looking a little old or whatever. I'm old school. My great grandmother and grandmother taught me how to cook, so you go through the fruit and the apples and stuff that are looking a little old. You go through and you pull them because you're gonna use them in an apple pie. And you'll do that with all your produce. You'll decide what you can do with it, so you don't have to waste it. Hopefully. And so I had been meaning to make this apple pie for a few weeks. I already had the pie crust bought and frozen. I don't make my own pie crust because I hate working with dough. Yo, I hate I hate getting flour under my fingernails. It drives me nuts. Especially if it's dough and it's like, ugh. And I don't really have the space to be rolling out pie crust. I certainly have done a lot of that in my years, but I didn't have to, so I'm not going to. Just buy the deep dish pie crust. So yeah, I'm pretty boring that way, but yeah, I had to clean that room, and it took me quite a while. I listened to that podcast I tell you guys about, that Dateline. I go through Spotify, and I love Spotify so much more over Pandora. Everybody has their preference. And I know some people use the Amazon Music, but I love it. It's a free podcast, and it's about old cases, old true crime, you know. And yesterday, one was based out of Green River, Wyoming. I'm like, what? In fact, I had to share that with Brad because it was like, you don't hear too many that are based right. There's been a number of them based here in North Carolina. It's like, holy moly. So, you know, I listened to two different stories on that, and then listened to the music and stuff before he appeared in my doorway. It scared me. I was not expecting. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting. Look up all of a sudden, I just let out a little scream because I wasn't expecting him there. So, right?
I scare a lot of people.
The dogs were chilling out on the bed with me because it's the biggest thing in the whole world with these dogs that I would not let them in that bedroom with me. I went into my bedroom and I shut the door because I needed my mattress will kind of travel down a little bit during the course of a week. And so then I got to take it and shove the whole mattress up against the wall again. Well, I can't do that when you got Charlie, who's 125 pounds, laying on your bed. And, Jellybean's not that big of an issue. But if you have Charlie and Nixie, Nixie's 65 pounds. So, you got 190 pounds worth of dog laying on your bed. You're like, so I need to do that. I need to go through and I wanted to rearrange my pillows and my comforters. I'm a weirdo that way. You guys know that. I have to have certain pillows set up certain ways with certain blankets on them and then another neck pillow. Then I got to have my blankets a certain way. Brad calls it my nesting. And it is. It's like I get ready to go to sleep and I'm like nesting. It's like this blanket's got to be here. The comforter's got to be here. I mean, I got to have this fan turned on this direction because it's just for noise and, but so I need to rearrange all that without the dogs being on there. So a few minutes later, I open up the door. I call the dog. Of course, they come running. Charlie's in the lead. Jellybean's right behind. Nixie will take her time. But Charlie acted like that was the biggest thing in the whole world that I had done this. And then he's up there rearranging my pillows and my blanket. And I'm like, I just did this. I just freshened it all up. I just rearranged it how I wanted it. So he rearranged it how Charlie would want it. So he could lay on top of all of it. And it's like, okay, this is my life. But I love it. So finished another hat last night. But I can't show you guys because it's still in back. I'll show you guys here in a few days. I still have not answered comments, and I'm going to sit down sometime today and answer these comments. Probably right after I finish this video. I need to sit down and do it. I keep forgetting. It's not that I don't care. I just keep forgetting. Because I'm always going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So, leg infection is better today, I think. So I'm just starting a new hat. There's nothing to be right home about yet. Brad made the best char siu pork and fried rice last night. Oh, in fact, I just ate the rest of it here a little bit ago. Was that the rest of it? Oh no, you got a serving left in there too? Okay. No, honey, they still cannot hear your head move.
Oh, okay. I forget that they can't hear the rattle. But yeah, there's at least one more serving.
Oh, okay. So it was very, very good. It was spot on. Sometimes he tries to give me some food that's not up to par, and I look at him and I say, this is not how you normally make this. Because I know that he just kind of half-assed it. I can tell when he's, done this. You can't take somebody who cooked a bajillion meals and then you cooked one time, he makes something fabulous, and the next time it's kind of like, eh. And I'm like, it's like, can I tell them about your stir-fry vegetable saga with the bag and we keep arguing about if it is or not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just joking with you. I don't have to tell them. Now they really wonder, though.
Probably. No, go for it.
Okay.
I have no secrets. Okay, maybe.
I keep wondering why he gives me this fried rice, but it only has onions and colored peppers in it. There's no cauliflower, broccoli, carrots. There's no watercress. There's none of the little baby carrots. I mean, there's none of the classic, no mushroom, none of the classic, Oriental vegetables. I'm like, no snow peas, anything.
Baby ears of corn.
I already said that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, why didn't you put any stir-fried vegetables in this? I did. No, you didn't. You put onions and peppers. Well, that was what the bag was. Finally, yesterday, I finally get him to read the bag. He shows it to me. He'd think he's being smart, right? Or smart, but. And he hands back, so see, look, it says stir-fry. And I said, see, read below what's in it. Well, onions and peppers. Exactly. He's like, well, he hadn't really looked at it. And it's like, because we have stir-fry vegetables. There's a whole thing. It's what I'm really getting to. We have bags of it in the freezer. But he keeps in a hurry and stuff grabbing what he thinks is a mix of the stir-fry vegetables, and it's not. And what I love is I like a lot of veggies in my stir-fry. In my fried rice, in my stir-fry. I mean, And I'm like, where's the broccoli? Where's the cauliflower? Where's, any of this? And he's like, no, it's an ongoing saga. It's a thing.
Sorry.
I think we were both up till past 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the story was with that. I didn't realize he was up because he was in the front room, I guess, watching TV or something. And I'm like, "Are you up?" And he's like, "Yeah," because I didn't notice the light was on out here. So yeah, only did three. I only did 3 TikToks last night, so I failed. I just got busy doing stuff. And some of those times you just get really into doing your looming or whatever, and you just kind of keep rolling with it. So I don't really have anything else. I'd like to go in this afternoon. I got time. I'd like to go in this afternoon and paint. My whole thing is I have this great big. The pictures on Facebook. If your friends me on Facebook, I have this great big, the big coffee can full of paintbrushes. I found all the paintbrushes, and so I let them all now live together again, provided they cannot fight. But it was kind of exciting finding all more of your art supplies. So I really want to go in this afternoon and working on a large painting that I told you guys has a plaster buildup of the rocks and stuff, so it gives it a really unique 3D um, look anyway. And then how I'm doing it with is a bit of antiquing, and I'm doing some mixed media, of course, because that's me, and I'm really excited about this. So I'm getting more excited about doing painting stuff because we're finding more of my blank canvases and stuff. Because I don't know, for a while I was into doing the small paintings. Now I'm really into doing the big paintings. I would love to get one of those stretch canvases that's just ginormous, right? And do a painting, but those are so expensive. I mean, they're well over $100. I can't afford that.
The last ones I looked at, I don't remember the inches, but the biggest one was $200, and then the next size down was 150.
And usually they don't let you use, if you have a 50% off coupon, they don't usually let you use that on that. So, even like Hobby Lobby, I have a note that cannot be used on the big canvas and stuff. Like, dang it. If you take 40% off of that, I might be able to do it. Really, I can't. Because to do something that big, I've got to be able to sell it. Because I don't have any place to put it in here. So, and if it's something that doesn't sell, I don't want to be saddled with it. I have probably well over 100 paintings that I've just shoved into totes. And some of them I don't think I ever showed you guys. I need to go through those one of these days and kind of get them registered and put back out there the ones I do want to sell. The ones that he hasn't kept. Excuse me. I told me he's not allowed to keep any more of them. If he's going to keep one, he has to give me back one of the ones he's keeping. So you only keep so many of them, Brad. Excuse me, guys. No, I don't have Rona. Just got a tickle in the back of my throat. So I'm going to paint this afternoon. I'm going to make French toast. Then we're going to start watching we're trying to find something, excuse me, to watch together. And I'm kind of burned out on the Criminal Minds and all of that. The CIS or CSI. I'm kind of burned out because I don't know, especially CSI. It seemed to be kind of so one after the other, pretty similar, really. Though and you'll have like one whole season to be a lot of child murders, which is a hard thing anyway. And then one whole one will be similar, of adults that die in similar ways and stuff. And I get a little burned out on that. So, this is called Lucifer, and it's on Netflix. So we're gonna start watching that. It's got 6 seasons still being made, so it'll be something we might really enjoy. We enjoyed what was that one show? Supernatural. So it might be similar to something like that. So finding something that we both like can be difficult because Brad, of course, being a typical guy, likes a lot of action scenes, blow him up, that kind of stuff. I like some of that, but I want to be, and I'm not saying that there isn't a good plot line with the type of movies you like, the action, but I like it to be a little more. Brad will say it's the women's stuff. I'm not looking for like all kinds of like Harlequin romance crap because no, I ain't watching that. And no offense to any of you that like that. My grandmother loved that stuff. Um, but remember, soon as Daniel Steele came out with a new book, we had to run up and get it and bring it to her. Yep. But she loved that, and I always remember her that she was so passionate about it. She really loved those things. Were just like soft porn. I mean, let's come on. You're not fooling anybody. But go grandma. Right, Charlie. Tell Dad to give you a hug. Tell Dad to lean down and give you a hug, huh? But so this will be a good fit, I think. I like things that are kind of more of a thriller, where you like things that are more of an action. Neither one of it's a big horror. I don't want the hack 'em slash 'em type kind of mindless Halloween or any of that. I mean, I like a Friday the 13th. I like it to be what I call, pardon my French, but a mind effort. A mind, F-U-C-K. That's what I like. Because you're watching it, you think you got this all figured out, and all of a sudden there's a twist, and you're like, this is something maybe you didn't expect at all. So I really like that kind of stuff. I have watched CSI and stuff. I could now be a criminal behavioralist and go out and do all that. What was that one that we watched before that had Penelope and stuff?
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. I really loves Criminal Minds. I could be a Penelope. She would rock. I want to be a Penelope. She was pretty cool. So, yeah. I know I could do that. I always tell Brad, it's like, I'm aware of crime and stuff. I watch CSI. But, it's all in good fun, right? But yeah, I don't know why I'm kind of burned out on CSI right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's one we were watching was the Las Vegas edition. So if any of you guys have watched some of the other ones, like the Miami and stuff, let us know if you think that's better. Maybe we'll embark on that.
And I like, I really like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or in the way of actors.
Yeah.
Because I mean he kind of spread things out a little bit. And
what are you talking about?
Actors.
I know that, but what do you mean spread things out?
It does different genres.
Oh, okay. Because you got to specify.
I know. They can't read my mind.
No, they don't want to. I told them not to go there.
Okay. And then in the way of actresses, so impressed with Charlize Theron. I mean, just the different, she does so many different roles and everything, and it's just, yeah, phenomenal actress. But okay, I'm done.
Sorry. No, go ahead. We're all listening now.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to be rude.
No, we're all listening.
And everything.
I'm just doing some looming while I listen to you.
Mm-hmm. And then,
mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name. Yeah. So.
Who?
If I could remember his name, I would. Wow. I can't remember. But he is so all over the board on the things that he plays. John Malkovich. Yeah.
I don't know what role he plays.
Yeah.
I'm not placing him.
Yeah, he does so many.
No, but can you give me, for instance, on a character he plays in a show?
He was on Con Air.
Playing.
I don't remember the guy's name, but
okay, that narrows it down.
He was the head of the criminals.
Right.
Yeah, and it's something that I'd have to point him out next movie we watch with him in it.
Let's talk about this horrible thing. I used to really love Nicolas Cage as an actor. What the heck? He takes on the most horrible fucking... Sorry.
Ooh.
most horrible scripts and movies. And it's like his stuff has just been shit lately. I get anywhere where I see him in the title of a movie or, him listed, and I'm like, nope, not going to watch it because he has played really some crap roles. I mean, is he desperate for the money or what? Because, I mean, I used to be a big fan of his. I thought he did some great jobs like Face Off and, gosh, there was one he played a cop, and it was based on a true story that the cop won a lottery, and then this whole story. But I mean, he played some really really great, and he played the family man, it was a Christmas Story. I mean, he played some really great roles, but as of late, it's like, what happened to you, dude? I mean, do you owe so much child support and alimony that you're just taking whatever? Or, I mean, I really am disappointed though. I mean, he can do a really phenomenal job, but he is just taking anything right now.
Yeah. Bruce Willis, it seems like
He
a,
pr- I don't know about him. I haven't formed an opinion yet.
yeah, but it's
I will agree that his latest stuff has been crap.
yeah,
Yeah, I hate it when these actors or actresses get where they are desperate for roles that maybe they're not getting sent scripts like they used to, so out of desperation because they still got bills and stuff, and they probably have built up a lifestyle that's pretty lavish that they want to keep paying for, so they just take any kind of role. Like I used to be a big fan of oh, what's her name? Played in Pretty Woman.
oh, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. I couldn't remember what her last name was. I wanted to say and uh, Julie Anderson, Andrews. I don't know, something
Julie
like that.
Andrews.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, that ain't her. But I used to be a big fan of hers. Not anymore. She does some shit roles, and she always has that same ring laugh and the same, reactions to everything. There's no changing. She's like, what do they call somebody who gets stuck in the same role all the time? What do they call them?
Typecast or
Yeah, yeah. And it's like because they know she's gonna react the same way. It's like, okay, well let's just have her react the same way and plug in a different story around her because So I'm really, really not that thrilled with her. Another one is Nicole Kidman. I used to really, really like some of her work. Not all of it, but some of it. Anymore, it's like, girlfriend, are you desperate for money? Because, I mean, and two, she is such a beautiful woman. I always have thought she's such an incredibly beautiful woman. But the role she's been taking, it's like, you know, because I'm an expert on it. Because I've been in the field so much, and I know so much about it, right? They keep sending me scripts all the time, and I keep saying no, absolutely no, I'm not, I won't.
not
Don't
good
send
enough.
me any more scripts. I won't. So finally, they're starting to back off them. And I told them I wouldn't fly out to California either. Not flying. So I don't care how many. I just have my people redirect them away from me. We're all good. Because how else would I have time to do my daily videos with you guys and make TikToks and then get any housework done and any craft work done? I just wouldn't, and torment you. You know,
Yep.
he was able to. We covered his incision site last night, and he was able to get in and take a shower all by himself, which I know had to feel pretty liberating. He did a great job and stuff. So he's really doing very well. Swelling is down. That leg is still swollen, but not as bad. But if you look at your feet and stuff, you definitely can tell.
Yeah.
But I guess I mean, see, his surgeon never talked to me after surgery. Brad's still mad about this. They never called me or anything. And so I would have asked about expecting swelling and stuff. What's your leg doing right there? Was the thigh muscle was jumping?
Oh, it's my thighs are. I don't know
I
what it
need to
is.
have you take some of that potassium. I think it's still on the freezer there, babe.
Okay.
because
But
you haven't been taking any all week.
I know, but my thighs, and that was one of the things that kept me up. It's just both thighs.
Well, that leg is about twice as big right now with
Yeah.
that leg. Do you know that?
Yeah.
We need to have you ice that today and stay off of it as much as possible. Okay? Okay. I
You know
mean,
what?
it's up to you, but I would like to see if you could do that.
But Teresa,
But Brad,
but Teresa,
Brad.
um,
Sometimes I call him a dog name by accident. Right, Charlie? Charlie. Okay, go ahead, Bradford.
but
Bradley Ann.
you know a lot more about this than I do, so I listen to it.
Well, I can just tell
Listen
you
to
what
you.
I see.
Yeah, I know, but you're a lot more in tune with this type of
I would
stuff.
like to see today if you could. You seem to be in pain too. You need to take some of your painkiller pain. I'd like to see you kind of stay off of it as much as possible. You know, are you going to be taking a nap or no?
If I take painkillers, probably.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
go in and work on my painting,
Yeah.
which is a solo act.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I never talk to anybody when I'm doing artwork. Brad will tell you this. I will have my headphones on always. I will always have the music cranked, and I will be in another space. So you can stand behind me and watch me work all you want. Just don't talk to me. I even had my art professor, my mentor. He was trained well. He knew, and none of the other students were allowed to do this, but I was allowed to wear the headphones and ignore everybody. And sometimes there'd be like a whole group of teachers and students behind me watching me work. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. Just don't talk to me. You know? Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Even him, he would kind of politely ask if I could maybe take the headphones off for a moment because he wanted to speak to me. Richard, I had him trained pretty well, didn't I? You know, he and I tell you guys this story, but he and I, first year I had him, he made me so mad. Oh man, we fought all the time that first year. He kept pushing me so hard. He wouldn't push anybody else, and I'd get so mad. And I'd come home and I'd slam my sketch pad down and stuff. I was so dang mad at him. Oh, you know, I think you heard me call him every dirty name in the book. I was so livid, and I knew why he was pushing me.
Well, he told me why he was pushing you.
Go ahead and tell them why.
Richard had very good taste in wines.
That doesn't. Nobody cares about that.
Well, yes, but you know, I gotta build.
Okay, hurry up, because we're gonna all. Go ahead, build.
But so he'd come into the liquor store, and we would talk. He would give me a progress report on Teresa and everything. And he told me.
Little did I know this.
Yeah, and he told me that he purposely tried to make her as mad as he could because he said that's when she did her best work, was when she was royally pissed off.
You made me so mad, I'm just taking it out on this paper, right? And I got the pencils flying and the charcoal flying, and I mean, I got erasers going and electric eraser, and I'm just, oh!
Yep.
I have a bit of a temper anyway. What did I do? Imagine my hair. I'm trying to, as I get older, but sometimes it gets even worse because you're like but oh yeah, he made me so mad. I swore I was never gonna, and he would, and then one day I caught him. He was making me mad and he knew he was. He had just walked up and he goes, "You're gonna hate me for this." He took the electric razor out of my hand, and this is a big one, right? I have one here. And it's corded. It's we're not playing. Not a little battery operated one. And I had doing this great big piece, and he erased half of it. He stepped back, handed me back the electric razor. I happened to turn around to look at him. He was sitting there grinning, standing there grinning, with his arms across his chest. Because he knew at that point in time that he just made me so mad. that I wanted to kill him. Well, he made me mad enough that I went through and I redid it, and the piece turned out phenomenal. But it was like I knew at that point in time, it's like, I know what you're doing. You're not the first art teacher to push me and push me and push me. I've had this since junior high, but I couldn't figure out why though. I mean, he would walk up and he would tell somebody sitting right next to me who was doing just like almost like pencil stick people how great their work was, and I've got this great big beautiful piece, and he started on my ass. And I know they would be sitting there looking too like, is he serious? And I'm just like, oh. But then we ended up becoming really good friends, and he was my mentor. And I mean, I had almost all my classes back to back with him, which everybody thought it was insane to do. Nobody else had ever done that where they took that many classes with him. The reason I did because that was his last year teaching, and he was retiring. So I knew I had to get in everything. And this was just drawing. I haven't had any painting classes in college at all. That's just me doing my thing. But, you know, I spend literally all day there in the art studio. Loved every minute of it. Never got tired of it. Because he had taught us to be very disciplined. That even if you didn't feel like doing your artwork that day, it was like even if you were an athlete training, how they exercise all the time, that's the same thing you need to do. Just like a musician has to practice all the time, you as an artist have to do this. You have to be disciplined whether or not you want to do the artwork that day. And that can be hard to sit there and not want to do this, and you're working on these pieces for maybe 6 weeks at a time, the same piece, and you don't want to work on it anymore. You're sick of it. You're sick of looking at what you're supposed to be doing. You're just sick of it. Especially when it makes you all do the same thing. You're just sick of it. But you learn to be very disciplined. So then I was very lost when he retired. Because, first off, when you're in college and you're in fine art program, you're used to your work being displayed. You're used to your work being displayed even in prominent art galleries in the city you live in. And you're used to people watching you behind. Even teachers from other departments would come down and take a peek. They wanted to see what I was doing. So all of a sudden, all that's gone. Your mentor's gone. There's a whole bunch of dynamic where there was a bunch of some other art teachers I didn't care for that were very against him. So since I had been kind of his prodigy, they were kind of thought maybe they would want to treat me like crap because he was gone. That wasn't going to fly. So I just stopped doing artwork for quite a while again. So then we moved I started doing it again when I was still in Wyoming. I used to do it a lot with my granddaughter at the art studio, set up where she could be on one side of this table with easels and I was on the other side. We loved those times. I still love those times. We moved here out to Florida. That's what sustained us for a while was me selling artwork. And then since we moved here, I didn't doing artwork for a good at least over 6 months.
Yeah.
Then just did a few piddly pieces which were abstract, which don't get me wrong, I like doing my abstract. They're just kind of a very freeing thing to do because you don't really have to think too much of it. You're just kind of going with the flow. But right now I'm doing a landscape which takes a lot more time, energy, patience, concentration, a lot of concentration. But that's good. So now that you know my whole history, I'd like to do another gallery showing. I have to get enough new pieces done. And that's one of my problems. See, somebody has some of my best pieces. Well, I don't know. A lot of my really good artwork has been sold. So, I can't put that in a gallery. And once I sell a piece of artwork, I don't do prints. And there's nothing against anybody that does, but I don't do prints on my work. So once you buy a painting, you're the only one that has that. And I never do duplicates. So, but somebody has some of my really good pieces that he might have to let go of.
Oh, no.
Well, if I want to put them in a gallery, you would have to.
As long as I get it back.
No, what if they're sold?
then no.
Well, I can make you something. Well, I can't make you something similar. I can do the piece again, but so anyway, I got then apparently I have to do some new artwork. I got to a point where now anymore it's like you can't have this. Even when I'm starting it, you can't have this, Brad. You only have so much wall space anyway, dude.
Yeah, but
I don't want this front room to be all full of my stuff.
Yeah, but look at the freaking hallway.
You have a painting up there.
I know, but I've got a lot more room to put a lot more paintings. Wow.
Maybe I don't want it. Well, I guess
Well,
that's your half of the trailer. You can do what you want with it. So anyway, you know that yeah, that's why Brad's not allowed to have any of my new work because I would like to really have a gallery showing. You know, I would. It's not about. I would like to feel more established as an artist again. You know, and it can be very hard to get yourself kind of set. I'm not trying to be a huge deal or anything like this, but like even in my local area to be known as one of the artists. You know, I'd like to be part of an artist guild. Rona has, not done great things for us moving here to a new area because it's been really hard to make any friends or anything, you know. So, but we'll get there. Aren't you guys glad you know my whole story now? That's what I'm all about. Yesterday, when I'm finding out my paintbrushes, and I've got all my paints, and I have a lot of paint, okay? But I never have too much. If you find some specialty acrylic paint that you want to send me, I love it. You know, I'm just saying, you don't have to, but I do love. My friend Shoshona and stuff has sent me like some specialty, like some of the metallics and some of the pearl essence and stuff. And boy, those are so nice on to accent a piece. You're going in for the final detail and you hit it with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It really makes your whole picture kind of pop, kind of brings it to life. Like some of the very bright colors I love to put in, like for sunsets and stuff, just makes it just beautiful. So, yeah, that's what I'm setting to do. Is this is not going to be a popping piece, so this is kind of an antique looking painting I'm doing. If you kind of get that feel from all the rocks and stuff, I mean, it's very kind of earth tones and stuff. So, because that's kind of where my headspace is right now. One with the earth.
for me, what it looks like is that you're standing inside of a large cavern and looking out, and the waterfall is coming down over the top, and yeah, very, very cool piece.
Yeah. There's many people don't understand. There's many different layers to a painting. Depends on what you're doing, but there are always many layers to a painting. You know, even with an acrylic pour, if you're doing that, I did that for a while. I might do some more, but there's still, if you can go in detail after that piece is dry. But for any painting, especially for me with landscape, there are so many different layers. I'll go in and paint, and I'll tell Brad that I went in and I set the paint, and he knows I'm just starting a piece. And then I'll go in and set another layer. Well, I want that to dry, and I want to step away from it, and I want to be able to look at it. Probably, maybe even for many days in a row. I always put my paintings right where I see them all the time. So then it'll hit me what I want to do next. Especially with the landscape, because I'm going for a specific look, a specific feeling. So there's many different layers. I'm probably only about halfway through that painting right now.
Oh, I'm not
If
surprised.
that, because this is going to be the rocks and stuff are the closest. Like Brad said, it looks like you're looking out of a cave almost. So those are going to be very detailed. You're going to have whatever is closest going to be more detailed. As you get further and further away, less detailed. Just like anytime you're looking at a picture. So yeah, I'm about maybe halfway. And as I'm finding more in my art supplies, which is so exciting, because I will use a large mixture of different medias in this painting. I'm probably going to even bring in some graphite and some pastels, chalk in on this. Pretty sure I am. I may also do some pen and ink on it. I mean, it's going to be, I will mix every media I can. You know? What?
One of the things that I have learned.
What did Richard tell you about me mixing medias?
Oh yeah, he was just. I don't know how many times he's told me that he told you that you can't do that.
I can't mix this media and that media because he go, how did you get this look? Well, I mixed this and this and this, and he's like, you can do that. I'm like, you can too.
Yeah, look.
You know, because even if those two components are maybe different as oil and acrylic don't mix, but okay, you can make a sharp edge then though, where the acrylic and the oil meet, kind of like a fence. So you know, it's just a thing, but I enjoy what I do. I'm getting excited.
Well,
I want us to pull out some of those larger canvases from the blue room.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned with you getting into the painting or getting back into the painting is I don't expect a piece to be done until you say, okay, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many times where I'll see a painting and it's like, it's like, oh yeah, she's got a lot more work. She's got to put a lot more work in it, and you say you're done. And and then the opposite, So it's just whatever strikes you and whatever works for you.
And you don't know. For me, I don't know until about the last 5 minutes I'm working on a piece, and now I've got to the level because you can work yourself out of a piece just as well. You can be doing a painting. And you think, it's not done. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Pretty soon, you either muddied that whole painting up where it looked like just a big brown turd, or else you made it where it just makes no sense at all that you should have stopped 15 steps ago. It's a hard thing to know when to stop. But usually, for me, when I think I should be going for a couple more steps, it's time to stop. And then if I stare at it a long time, and unbeknownst to him, I've even taken paintings off the wall that I've given him and redone them a little bit because I didn't like how they looked. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Because maybe this bothered me on it or that bothered me. So, like back when you'd be at work and stuff, I'd take it off. I'd go take it into the studio and I'd hang it back on there.
Well, one of my favorite pieces that you've done is
oh God, I hate that piece.
Yes, and it's
Stupid.
The first animal painting that you've done, and it's that's what you told me.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
shaking. I'm just shaking because I hate that piece so much, and you love it.
And it's a profile view of a horse, and the thing I thought was so funny is she said that she struggled so hard to get the eye, and that's when she just decided to give the mane coming over the eyes to cover up the one eye because she couldn't get it done. And it's one of my half
of your pieces, and other artists will tell you this. Half of the pieces that people think are great is you were trying to cover up because maybe you were painting and maybe you got a big blob of paint to drop further down. Okay, well now that's a mane. Or you can't get an eye right. Now that's hair. That's part of the mane coming over that eye. See, now it's the wind has swept the mane up over the face because everybody thinks it's great. What made you come up with that? Thinking because I messed up and
yeah.
When I was younger, I would destroy a lot of my work. Now that I'm older, I'm like, no, it took how many hours? I'm gonna fake it, or I'm gonna say that this is how I wanted it to look.
That's one of the things that I really, really have to laugh about is
how much I hate my work.
Well, this is just artists in general, where somebody can look at a painting that's 200 years old, and they can tell you exactly what the artist was thinking when he or she drew it. And
I hate that. Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe they were just thinking about the lunch they just had and how good it was, and
If it was even that famous artist that did it, because they usually had interns that did most of the work, they'd come in and put in just the last of the finishing stuff. and they sign their name to it. So, or apprentice, not an intern, apprentice. And the apprentice would live with them. Usually, if you really wanted to have a good life back in those days, you would get your child will get picked to be an apprentice because it will usually have a better life than they had at home with you. You know. But yeah, I hate it when people are like, well, the artist was thinking da da da. And it's like, you don't know what that artist was thinking. And don't ask me what I was thinking when I did this piece or that piece, because most of the time I'm going to pull something out of my butt and tell you this and tell you that. And it's not going to be any closer to the truth. It's going to be like, well, like that. The mane was swept over the eyes and made it look like the wind was blowing because I couldn't get the eye right to my satisfaction. Yeah, you know. Or if some of the works that people love the most have just been kind of random doodles, paintings as I call them, where you're just kind of doing a free flow thing, and if people like loved it, and it's like, okay, because I like to mess with drawing hair and stuff, it's fun. So remember, I had that whole thing where I sold quite a few of the girls with their different hairstyles.
Yeah.
And it was all like pinks and purples
Mm-hmm.
and stuff set on. I like to paint stuff on black canvas. That's one of my favorite things. But yeah, so anyway, I know this is probably boring to most of you guys because if you're not in the art world or have an interest in it. But those of you that are and did pay attention, I thank you because, yeah, the art is a great extension of me and very important to me, especially because I am pretty much an introvert stuff. That is my escapism. That and I do some writing on an anonymous blog. And that's another escapism. I haven't been doing that much lately though. I don't know. I go through phases. So if I'm doing a lot of artwork, I'm not doing as much writing. Sometimes I got into a phase where it was doing both when I was in college still, because I didn't start my college career till I was age 40. I had just become a first time grandparent, and I started my college years then, and I loved it. And I probably would still be taking classes up so I was in a little bit better shape. And that's one of my goals is I want to get in better shape because I would like to take I would like to take some clay working. I would like to take some of the pottery classing. If, once Rona we've gotten better handle on it and maybe things will open up more. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying about this now. Oh, that I loved going to school and stuff. So, just that whole atmosphere. I did forget where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
I don't know how many times you told me how much you loved being in the studio. Where you'd be there, and there may be other people around, but you had them so tuned out, and you had your music going, and and that's one of the things.
Richard taught him. It's like, yeah, you can come in because you could walk behind where we were working, but he had taught them all. You can come in, stand back this way, and then he would tell them, no, you cannot talk to her. When she's working, she doesn't like anybody talking to her. I mean, once occasionally I would talk with a few of my friends that were about my age that were in these classes, but not a whole lot. Usually it was when we took a break. I smoked at that time. Take a break and we'd go outside and have a cigarette. And I'd have some of them follow me. But, besides that, no. That's my deal. You know, that's where I loved it. I was a nursing major, going to become an RN, and I took one elective class and I decided to take it in drawing. And I knew I'd been a big deal in high school, right? I mean, and Brad will tell you, and I got best girl artist for the state the year I graduated, and so I knew I'd been a big deal back then. But that's high school, and it's been a long time, and I had a few young bucks that thought that, oh, they're going to show this old fat woman that she wasn't anything, and I didn't set out to destroy him or anything, but I ended up doing that, and that one poor kid, he just didn't know really what to do about that, did he? You could tell He thought he was a young, hot buck, right? And this old fat woman and stuff, and then pretty soon he was realizing that I was just doing stellar work. I was just doing better work than him, and he wasn't getting the accolades that he wanted to get from our professor. And I mean, he was a good artist. I mean, but it happens. I mean, and I at my artwork, you might have sometimes you'll have a piece that you think is great, and you'll have maybe one person out of 20 like it. The next piece you think is crap, and you'll have 19 out of the 20 people love it. You never can tell. And I won't ever say anybody's artwork is horrible because there's always somebody that likes that style, that likes that. It's all in the mind of how your mind portrays it and stuff and what you like. My artwork isn't for every. Oh, what? Hi. My artwork isn't for everybody, but you know, uh, I enjoy what I do, and that's all that matters. If I do nothing more than continue to paint and stack it up in here in my house, and then when I die, it all gets thrown away, so be it. I can't take it with me anyway. You know. What are you doing, little Charlie? What? What he want? You know what he wants? He wants us to go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
If I say, Charlie, you want to go to bed? You want to go to bed, Charlie? Do you? You do? You want to go to bed? What? You can go in there by yourself. No, you have me. What? You want to go to bed? Tell me. Do you want to go to bed, Charlie? Do you? You do? Okay, we're gonna finish up in a minute, and then we'll go in the bedroom. So you can lay on the bed while I paint. Okay? All right. Okay, you can go to bed, Charlie. No? Okay. You're supposed to be a big, brave dog. Okay, enough. Enough. Hey, hey, hey. Ugh, wow, Charlie, easy now. Yes, aren't you glad you spent your Sunday putting up with this stuff? Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for listening to me prattle on about my artwork. I do not talk about it very much at all. In fact, it can be like pulling teeth to get me to talk about how I feel about it and stuff. But, it is a piece of me. It's a big passion. And, that's where I feel at most peace in my whole life is two places with my dogs and with my artwork. What? What? Well, you and I can have some conflict sometime. You and I can have, because you can be kind of bullheaded. Not me. And I can have a bit of a temper. I am pretty intense. I can be hard for anybody to take, I think. Seriously. I mean, I love being with you, but I know I never feel totally. Talking totally at peace. I mean, I can. There ain't nothing I can do to these dogs that's gonna make. I give up. I already done it for myself, didn't I? Charlie, and wow. No, I love being with you.
You know what? You can keep going as much as you want.
That-
No,
I'm talking about just something for me though, because if I'm with you, I have to give back to you, right?
I guess so.
You don't like it when I pet you. When I start petting you like I do the dog, you tell me you're not a dog. It's not because sometimes I will catch myself just kind of petting Brad's head, and I think he's enjoying it. He tells me he's not one of the dogs, and then I'll realize I think I'm just touching him, being nice, and I realize I am petting his head. Love you.
You too.
You know I love you. I would not put up with you for 34 years if I did not love you. You're my longest living pet.
Thank you.
He loves it too when I accidentally call him a dog's name.
Well,
Charlie got in trouble the other day, and I called him Brad. He didn't know what to do. He just wants me to go in the bedroom now. No, he does.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He's sitting here, waiting. Love you. I do like being with you.
Oh, yeah. Throw that out there as an afterthought.
Well, sometimes, you don't want to obey me the way that these guys. If I tell you to sit, you do not plop your butt on the ground like they do. No.
No, because if I did, I would never, ever get up again.
So, anyway, now that I have, I'm in trouble now. No, I'm not in trouble. He knows what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yes. So, anyway, he knows I'm a big dog lover. My dogs, though, just you guys know, it's not that I don't love my husband and love spend time with him even. It is my longest positive relationship in my entire whole life has been with dogs. From a little kid on. No, listen to me, a little kid on though. Animals, usually dogs, have been my saving grace. That's who I got love from in my home, was my dog. Not my parents or anything, it was my dog. She was always right with me. And, so that's a big passion of mine, And there are, I don't know, with humans, you never know really what reaction you're going to always get. Dogs, you do. So it's not that I don't, if I didn't like being around Brad, then we wouldn't be sharing a home still. Even when you and I were having troubles and we weren't sure if we were going to stay married or not, we still were the best friends. We still spent time together just on that level.
And with with pets.
It's unconditional.
Yep.
Humans, no matter how hard you try, sometimes it's conditional, and sometimes it has to be conditional for that time period. Maybe you're going through something, they're going through something, the universe as a whole is crapping on you. So sometimes it has to be about one or the other person. And, we don't always have our best A game. We're human. We don't always have, the best responses, or anything. So with dogs, I wouldn't rather spend my time with, this sounds horrible, but with another animal, another dog, than sometimes most humans. I don't human well. Dogs, I'm all about the dog. I haven't met a dog I don't like yet. But I'll tell you, somebody's with a dog, all of a sudden I'll start talking up a storm with them. Otherwise, I would not probably even have acknowledged them. But you got a dog, and now we got to talk. I need to know all about your dog. Right?
Yep.
Some of my best conversations have been that way. Some of y'all have this dog or that dog. Remember last time we went to that worm grunting festival?
Yep. The guy with the Irish setters.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Brad looks over and he and I are having this whole conversation, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice guy. I don't really remember much about him. I remember the dog very well.
Well.
Yeah.
Irish setter.
The dog really liked me.
Yes, it did.
If your dog doesn't like somebody, it's probably a good reason why. Say your dog normally after a while warms up to most people, but there's that one person that dog is just not having any of. There's probably a good reason why. Most times. Anyway, I'm getting off here. Love you guys. And now that I've comatose you all, you thank me for the good nap. And I do love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much. And I may not get to the comments today. It may have to wait till tonight or something, because I do want to go in and paint. Sunday is the one day that I feel like I can be pretty selfish and say, hey, I want the afternoon to paint, and I need it. So, with that being said, poor Brad feels like he's last on the list now, right? Are you sad?
I know where I'm at.
Your hair is cockadoodle today.
Yeah.
It is like you've got like this plume up the middle, just like a rooster. Woo! Anyway, love you guys. Say bye to Brad, and because now he feels so sad. You feel sad?
I do.
Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.